the day after this, like Anastasia Ilyinchina's
This is
soiree.
your fault.
I know. I 100% blame myself. Magdalena Dirkdenwald is busy, it's kind of about, 9, 10 o'clock, when everybody by now should have finished breakfast. And she is sitting in the drawing room with her sister, Anne-Marie, their hostess, Anastasia, and, waiting for the post and waiting to see if anybody will show up. Weather, continues to be lovely. It's, there's not a speck of rain, but kind of nice, picturesque puffy clouds in the sky. And so far, it seems like it's a positive day. It'll seem like things will go well. And it's another, somebody does kind of walk down the street. For the most part, people are just kind of passing by, and it's like there's probably this moment of like excitement as like maybe this person, and then the slight disappointment as just people kind of continue on past the house. But one person does stop, and that is somebody who's now married into the Dirkdenwald family. Yulia knocks on the door, is kind of one of the butler, the footman, kind of welcomes her in, and directs her into the drawing room where she can then join her new family, and they can now all gossip together if they like.
Oh.
Yulia, politely curtsies, as she enters the drawing room, and it's like, good morning. It's good to see you. It's good to see you both again. I hope you all slept well last night.
Magdalena is going to be like embroidering. She's just like, it's like a nervous habit. She has to keep her hands moving. So she's embroidering something just trivial. She's not even thinking about it. She's just like sitting there, just like anxiously waiting for things to happen.
Has anyone called on you yet?
Not as of yet, but I'm hoping so. I did I did send a letter to Countess Galina, since she asked me a question during the soiree that I couldn't answer. So I figured I'd answer her then, after I found out what she was looking for.
Oh, perhaps she'll show up then. That would be lovely, actually.
It
would certainly be quite the step up. It's a countess of all people. It's not quite the same. Do you think it's like in Germany, actually? With all the castles and things. I haven't actually met her.
I don't think it is. Everything's so different here. There's, like, as you said, there's castles and forests everywhere, and here's just a lot of large houses.
Oh yes, you mean there's the estates. Oh, have you actually been down by the river yet?
I have not.
One of these days we'll certainly have to go down. I'll have to show you. It's quite interesting. It's like the river splits in two before it reaches the sea. So you have like the big Neva and the little Neva.
Oh, that sounds lovely. Maybe we can feed the ducks.
We can certainly do that.
I'm just appealing to Liz.
Let me just make sure I have my geography right.
Is there ducks?
No, there are.
Of course, the St. Petersburg duck, right? It's that. It's that time of year.
It looks suspiciously like a goose.
Oh, he's there. Hey. It looks like a goose. If it looks like a goose, you need to just go away.
This is the perfect time. I think Anne-Marie's looking out the window, and she's like...
Yes, she is waiting for us to call on her. If Karen would like to do the honors.
What was it?
Oh, we've just decided that you're showing up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so Anne-Marie's like, speaking of geese or ducks, I don't know. I just find that Anne-Marie thinks that Tokarev is funny, but she's going to like try to help her sister make a match.
Yeah, it's this is currently taking place at Anastasia's house, and Magdalena and Anne-Marie are waiting for people to call on them. If Tokarev wants to show up.
Alleviate our boredom.
Yes.
We're talking about ducks. It's fine.
Magdalena is dress embroidering.
Yeah, at some point Tokarev would show up. I don't know if he was told the time. He will be showing up.
No,
at
so
that
this
time
isn't like a formal appointment. This is like
Oh,
people.
okay.
It's you're supposed to go visit the people that you like. This is how we maintain connections.
Ah, right. Yes, visiting friends is a thing we don't do since 2020.
It doesn't help that you're on the other side of the world, so...
Funnily enough, I have friends on this side of the world I haven't really seen since before 2020, so... yeah.
I'm also kind of imagining it's like all the like the three young ladies like jump up when they see Tokarev and go like peer out the window.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, you're all interested, and he can definitely see you through the window. Yeah,
As soon as he looks towards the window, Magdalena will just like fall over and just like duck behind the couch or whatever that they're looking at, and she's just gonna be like, "What? Who's he for?"
Sorry, is Tokarov like the good version of Gaston?
No, he's
Like-
the tutor. He's the Russian tutor.
I know, but in this moment where all
Gaston
women
can't read.
Forgive me if I'm wrong. I feel like Tokarev is our straight man.
Yeah,
Do I have that wrong?
kind of is right now.
I don't know what that means.
Like, you play it straight amongst all the shenanigans. Like the calm in the
straight.
middle of
Okay,
the
I was
storm.
hearing street.
Oh,
he's the straight man.
I didn't realize we were in a fucking Fast and the Furious movie. Let me just rock up with my fucking fast as fuck horse and
that
carriage.
would be
Yeah.
an interesting genre mashup. Fast and Furious meets Russian novel.
Oh my
I'll write that down for later.
You know what? Yes. I would like to see Fast and the Furious 18th century.
Yeah. Jane Austen's Fast and the Furious.
Okay, so as she hears the knock on the door, she'll just be like, "Anna." She'll just be like playing with her hair and like fixing everything.
Yulia kind of comes out, like slides in, on the other side of Magdalena, and also kind of starts, help like preen her a little bit. It's like, no, we need to get you looking presentable.
Remember, you're going to ask him how to say effervescent in Russian.
Yes, that is absolutely. What word?
Oh, you're always looking at those $10 words in that dictionary of yours. Just throw a couple at him and he'll be impressed. I will be right here, and I will help fill up any of your charming silences. And then she like
knock
her
on the
hair.
door.
She's like, you know what? She
there's
takes
a
out
doormat.
like a black ribbon or something, because I'm assuming she's wearing all black or something tasteful like that. And she ties it like in her
Is she
hair.
in
And this is
mourning?
for good luck.
She's not in mourning. She just likes the color.
I was about to say, back then, like, okay, dark colors, but not mourning, because they did more seriously back then. That'd be funny.
Yeah,
It's like,
and
oh yes, I'm mourning the duck we found this morning.
Yeah, I imagine,
Mourning
there's
the duck
this
that we
knock
ate
on
this
the door.
Yeah.
There's a knock on the door of the drawing room, and the footman opens it for Tokarev, and Yulia kind of like jumps up to her feet, as you're supposed to when a man enters the room.
Lena will do the same thing, but like kind of like stumble a little bit and just like fix herself.
Anne-Marie will do so slowly and reluctantly. Because I'm assuming she's just kind of, yeah, okay, whatever.
Good morning, Tokarev Vladislavovich. Good to see you.
Good morning. It's an interesting time seeing you three peering through the window.
Ah,
Was my arrival that interesting?
Oh, you know.
Oh.
it's not-
Lena, she was already up early this morning studying. She's such an avid student.
Yes, and she said there's actually a word that she wanted you to say for her.
yeah, yeah, das ist, sorry, it would be, effervescent? How would you say that in Russian? Was ist da auf?
You see, a very handsome gentleman came by yesterday and described my sister as effervescent, and it just sounded so impressive. Do you think she's effervescent?
Well, the word you're looking for is sapuchi, but yes, I would agree. Magdalena does have a tendency to
I voted for Trump once, but not this. Trump wants
sort
to
of what is the word?
It'll make everything more expensive.
Sparkle in the right kind of conditions.
Kamala
Fact check. Is it actually Sapuchi for effervescent?
It is.
Yes.
Yeah, I was both looking it up, and Liz sent me it.
Cheat.
Here, give me a
Oh,
second. I'll double check my dictionary.
Thank you.
Okay.
What brings you by?
I just kind of wanted to I wanted to come in and visit and see how everything was after the incident at your last party.
Which one?
The one with the lovely old man, Roman, I think his name was, Mikhailovich, kind of spilt drink on someone and then had this
Oh.
sort of dramatic exit,
Oh, yes, that was
unveiling of a
unfortunate.
nice picture that I don't remember.
Yes, that was rather unfortunate. We did reach out, and he seems to be fine. So, if a little bit miffed about his shirt getting stained.
Well, that is good then. I would hate
Oh,
for
and
that
she's
to have
like,
been
she's
some.
like, oh, sit. Please sit.
He will take a seat.
Would you like something to eat, sir?
Oh no, thank you. I'm okay for the moment, thank you. But I am glad that that incident hasn't left any sort of mark against you for your hosting abilities.
Oh, I don't exactly know if that actually hindered or caused any issues as of yet. We're still waiting for
The postman hasn't arrived yet.
Yeah. And Anne-Marie
Good
did such a
enough.
wonderful job pruning all the flowers.
Which Lena so carefully
Arranged.
now she's up there. Arranged, yes. Don't you think that's just the most charming thing about ladies, about my sister, just her feminine wiles? She's like now I feel like her social awkwardness is coming out, but
Oh, Bea, dear, show him your embroidery.
Oh, she'll just like show it, and it's like flowers, and she's just like, yeah, I took inspiration from one of the bouquets that were here yesterday. Peonies are my favorite flower.
Peonies are a good flower. Yes. They're not my favorite, but they are a good flower. You're progressing remarkably with your Russian and your embroidery there.
Oh, thank you.
I must say, I'm never really sure how to react to things like embroidery, because I understand that like people enjoy it and they like doing it, but also a lot of people just make a lot of doilies.
Honestly, I'd rather be painting, but that's quite messy and appropriate for this. You see,
You don't
the
have to be
sun...
painting in front of anyone, but like you can do it in your spare time.
Oh, I do. Actually, it's just there's a room in this house where the sun hits everything just perfectly, and I can't help but to just paint. I don't know if you've ever heard of golden. I'm sure you've heard.
And I have, yes. It is always nice, especially if you're in just the right place on the river, and then you get this lovely sort of shine coming off the water.
Yulia was actually mentioning I haven't been down there yet. I'm still so new to the beach.
Yes, Tokara Vladislavovich, do you have a favorite spot, kind of along the water?
Not so much along the water, but kind of over it. I'm assuming there's a bridge at some point.
Yes,
in
there
this
are
fucking
multiple
river.
bridges.
Yeah. Probably the one that's closest to open waters, I think, would be his preferred.
Okay.
Hey! Sorry, I've just seen Katie's message in the Imperial Russia chat. There's this bridge that kind of faces over the open bay. Not a lot of foot traffic a lot of the time, but it's nice. It's nice place to just kind of stand, take a moment to yourself, admire the light and the clear air and any ships that may be passing. And occasionally you see a fisherman fall in the river, which is just kind of nice. Sorry, I don't mean like it's nice for the fisherman, but like it's nice because it's like a little moment of levity.
You didn't tell me you
yes,
were
that's
such a
my
jokester.
kind of levity too. She,
made a
Emery
joke.
is going to, by the way, discreetly go to the window again, just so she's not between the two.
And you also see Yulia kind of stand up for a moment and she goes over to a side table who's busy pouring herself a little bit of tea. It's also trying to give those two some room.
Lena's just like frantically in her head. She's just like, oh god. Okay. Oh, that sounds actually quite lovely. I bet the water.
You keep cutting out every now and then.
It's because my internet is trying to kill me.
It's more like your microphone is trying to kill you, but
It's plugged in and everything, so I don't know.
It's the compressor,
no,
it sounds like.
I think it's just I think it's just you're very soft spoken in character, so it's not.
I don't mean to be.
It's not. No one's blaming you, but if there's a sensitivity filter with Discord as your voice activation, so you're probably just dipping underneath that.
It looks like
very funny to just say that, and I can hear it perfectly fine.
Oh, you can hear me perfectly fine? So then it's just Thicket.
Oh, great. I mean, I knew that it was storming, and it is still storming, but like, goddamn it.
It's okay. Is there any organs playing in the background during the storm?
Any organs? No, but I'd love to know what's playing in the background of your room. What the hell is that?
Oh, sorry. It's the new season.
I heard new season of and then nothing else.
New season of Criminal Minds. I have my sensitivity up high.
Well, you know, the director already has the
Anyway.
So anyone else's character showing up at this moment while
do
Anne-Marie
we
is
want somebody else's character to
staring
show up?
wistfully out a window?
My entire side of the web is off somewhere else, so I don't. I'm just enjoying it. I'm just enjoying the show right now.
Let me think.
I mean, if you want, Roman Ivanovich could show up after everything that happened at the previous night's soiree.
Or,
To save
let me
you
throw
from
it
your
out here.
silent silence.
We haven't introduced, well, that might throw a wrench in things. I was thinking about Yakov, but that might, I don't know why he would be there because Glena's not. Never mind.
No, he could, I mean, he might still think that Magdalena is, like, wealthy.
Dang, this guy.
Yeah.
That might actually be interesting. Or if he's just kind of, like, checking out the other offerings that this season has.
Yes, we could bring in the gold.
If Ross, if you want to introduce him a little bit.
I am looking. How's this? I'm sorry. This is an example of that.
Am I the one that can't hear Ross?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, I can hear Rose.
You can't hear me? Uh-oh.
Wait, so hold on. I can hear Russ fine, but I can't hear every other word from every other person.
Oh no!
God fucking damn it! Oh technology, why have you failed me?
Okay, now I can hear you guys again.
Yay!
Fantastic.
I don't know what happened. For some reason, my audio just cut out.
Are you're saying you would want Yanya to show up?
Yakov.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Because we haven't really introduced him.
Yeah, actually, okay, yes. Yakov arrives not long after, and he appears and he's completely comfortable and friendly with Tokarov, because Yakov is simply one of the many he's a generation or two deep of an industrialist, in Western Russia. So, and he just enters with a frown on his face, and takes his whoever's there takes his accoutrements. Tokarov, good to see you, and ignores everyone else and shakes Tokarov's hand.
Lena will curtsy.
Oh, hello.
Yulia also turns and politely curtsies.
He bows slightly. And importantly, Galena is not here, right?
Right.
Okay. Right. Okay.
It was good to see you as well.
Yes.
Yakov.
Yes, good to see you also. Excellent art showing, Madame Durchenwald. You can tell he's lying.
Thank you. Honestly, it was Anastasia. But I mean,
Yeah, she's kind of been sitting kind of off to the side, or kind of like off in the back part of the room, just minding her own business, but really just kind of there as a chaperone.
Pouring tea for a strangely long amount
she
of
kind
time.
of looks up briefly, hearing her name. It's like, good morning. It's Yakov Kirillovich.
Oh, yeah, and I think we're at Anastasia's estate, right? And also she has money. So to this, suddenly you see an entire change in the demeanor of Yanya, and he goes immediately over to Anastasia and he says, what would he call her? The whole thing, right? Right. Anastasia Ilyinichna. Good afternoon. It is so good to see you. Thank you for allowing me to come over. And he forces a smile and takes her hand and bows.
Wow. Yakov is trash.
Yakov?
I mean,
Yanya.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that in the nicest of ways.
No,
He's
no,
trash.
he's very heartless. Yeah, that's what I'm getting from it. Yeah.
I kind of want to see if we can redeem him, but we'll see how it goes. That's my take.
Not.
And I'm sorry, did you do that to
I can
Anastasia
fix
and
him.
Bree? I can fix him, yeah.
Not.
Anastasia.
I'm not just trying to play dirtbags.
No, you're good.
Especially, what's his name is a really nice guy. I promise, Ivan. He's wonderful. I think. Yeah. Anyways, yes. So, Anastasia. Yes. I'm sorry, Anastasia Ilyinichna. I am so grateful that you having me over a second day. Your estate is. It is a warm and an inviting place for me. Anyways, I don't suppose, has anyone seen Countess Galina Alexievna?
Oh, yes, she's coming over. Anne-Marie says this very casually. Actually, I'm going to assume that's who she's been looking out the window for this entire time. I'm just going to assume that she invited her. Trying to think why. I mean, I think she wants Lena to have more friends.
Yeah.
I think that's why she invited her.
Well, and then also Magdalena sent her a letter explaining kind of the whole thing with Ivan. Rublevich.
That makes more sense then.
Would Katerina show up with her?
Yes. I think so.
Yeah, so thinking maybe like half an hour later, it's, like let everybody kind of settle back down again. And then, it's these, two wonderfully dressed women kind of, or young women, or, kind of walk up to the house. And, presumably they've been having some light conversation in the meantime. It's, just on the walk over. And it is Countess Galina and Baroness Yekaterina. They knock on the door, are welcomed into the house. And does anybody notice them arriving?
Henry.
Togrov is absolutely noticing the arrival of new people because I think he's just hyper vigilant at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to bet that Yanya does not actually notice them arriving at all. He's actually trying to engage the attentions of Anastasia. Not in a romantic sense, but just because, well, she's the important person in the room.
And she is quite happy to reciprocate, it's answer any questions that he has, or she kind of being more of like the matron like in society. It's she's quite adept at the small talk.
Yeah, he is not, and he is painfully boring, and he's canvassing all the details of his various hobbies.
Yeah, she somehow manages to put on a very polite, brave face, and it's like acts as though he is way more interesting than he actually is.
Right.
She has certainly been around. She has certainly seen more than her fair share of like boorish type men.
When the Countess and Baroness.
Yeah, so there's probably like maybe a minute or two delay, from them coming into the house to another knock on the drawing room door, and it opens, and there is Countess Galina and Baroness Yekaterina, standing in the doorway.
Dogra will stand and bow slightly to greet them. Countess, Baroness.
Good morning.
Pleasure
It's good
to see both of you again.
Slavovich. She kind of nods politely to to the hostess Anastasia, then to Magdalena and Anne-Marie, to Yulia, and at least Galina very pointedly ignores Yakov's presence.
By the way, I noticed on the lovely framework we have here, we have two best friends on the good side, and then two best friends on the evil side.
It's like the Force.
And then they're cousins as well, you know?
Yes. So they were
This
like,
is just straight up Russian fucking Star Wars.
yeah.
I'm going to use a resolve token for Yanya. And he's going to make a perfect play right here in front of Anastasia and in front of other August company. He's able to announce, Countess Galina Alexievna, I am so happy to see you. Did you receive my letter about the boating trip? I commissioned a vessel just for our enjoyment. And like in front of everybody, you know, like kind of like makes it loud enough for everybody to, you know, yeah.
There's a very brief moment of hesitation. It's like, as she's kind of weighing her options, like, I did actually. It's that's the most intriguing offer, I must say.
Oh, I'm so glad that you've agreed to come with me. Then the Black Sea will be it will be beautiful, and I'm thrilled to hear that you'd like to try boating with me.
Of course, and I'm sure you won't mind if I bring my new friend Magdalena Dirksenwald along with me. I'm sure she would be delighted to see the Black Sea this time of year.
Her face simultaneously just drains of color, and then immediately bright red.
His looks exactly like Magdalena's. And he's like, well, of course, yes. I would love for Lady Dirksenwald to join us. We'll make sure that that there is that there's space on the boat. I would love to have her as well, but we would need a fourth, I think.
She kind of glances over to, let's see, what rumors do we have? Well, it's, I'm sure that can be arranged if you'll just give me a moment.
Of course. And then, like, his demeanor, like, as soon as she leaves his orbit, like, his demeanor just turns cold again. It's just like that.
She'll kind of, slide over to Tokarev slightly. It's like, would you like to come on this boating trip? And just kind of whispering in his ear for a moment.
You know, I'm not really fond of boats, but please correct me if I am off base here. Are you not terribly excited about this idea?
Not particularly.
Okay. Yes, I will come. I will gladly come along and help diffuse the situation.
She just kind of claps her hands, like, quite abruptly. It's like, and I believe we have our fourth. The Mr. Tokarev Vladislavovich will be joining us as well.
When she says his name, he just is he's sat back down now, but he just holds up his like cup of tea as like a not like a wave, but I guess just like an acknowledgement, just like, yep, that's right. Sips tea.
Magdalena's face is like a shade. She's like,
Boy, I hope nobody gets seasick.
And Miss Dirksenwald, I did actually receive your letter. Thank you so much for your inquiry.
Oh, absolutely. I felt so terribly about not being able to answer your question.
No, it's quite all right. I should not have put that upon you so quickly. It had slipped my mind that actually you're still so new. You put on such a lovely performance yesterday that, I thought that you had been here for many years.
Oh, thank you. She's like frantically looking at Anna.
Sorry, sometimes my brain goes blank.
Yeah.
But we'll just assume that her brain does not go blank, and she links her arm with her sister's, and she says, "Yes, I don't think I've met anybody half so artistically inclined as my sister." I'm sorry. She's just, I think she'll just kind of give like a smirk, you know what I mean? Of, she's comfortable with awkward silence. I might not be, but she's fine with it. Sorry, that's all I got, folks.
Yes, Katya, as I was telling you, it does seem that Vanya's unit has actually, they're back in St. Petersburg for a little bit on leave.
Okay.
I still do wish that my brother would be among them, but alas.
It occurs to me, this is Yanya. Does he see what's her name? Ilya, is she still there?
Yulia, yes. She is also there.
Your
She
family.
has kind of been standing off to the side a little bit, just kind of like listening and watching.
I told you guys I'd be looking over here and stuff. I'm trying to reference this, but I think to go boating, any seriousness. Anyways, Ilya, her last name too.
Dirkdenwald.
Dirkdenwald.
Oh yeah, that's right. She's Lady Dirkdenwald as well.
She is Mrs. Dirkdenwald, but Yakov may not know that.
Yeah, your family actually is from Eastern Ukraine, is it not? I believe that we'll be for this boating expedition traveling by your family's lands.
Oh, are you going quite that far?
It occurs to me that the Black Sea is quite far away, and it's a big part of the world. So I was.
I wonder if you meant the Black Sea or the Baltic Sea.
Yeah, actually, that would have made more sense, right?
Yeah, because the Baltic is closer to St. Petersburg.
Okay, let's go with that. Okay, I see St. Petersburg right now.
Was Ukraine even a thing in the 1800s?
Yeah, they actually just like the whole thing is that there's a separatist group there that's kind of fighting for a kind of non-Russo Ukraine, as is the cycle, and during this Franco Russian kind of war that's going on. So, anyways, never mind. Okay, yes, the Baltic
it could
Sea.
also just be the general estates.
That's true too. Okay, yes. I believe that we'll be passing by your estates.
Oh, will you actually?
I believe so.
You're quite far out.
Well, I look forward to seeing it. I don't think I've ever been there. In fact.
Well, I will have to let my brother know, and mayhaps we'll be able. I can certainly see if he's interested in arranging, some sort of event.
Your brother, is your uncle ill?
I mean, it's in a sense.
Oh.
He doesn't run as much of the estate as he used to.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry to hear that, madam.
Appreciated, Mrs.
Ah, right. Well, and he turns to Tokarov. Pleased and surprised to have your companionship. I'm sure we can find some space for you and Lady Magdalena as well.
Do you have a particularly big boat, or is it like sort of more like a little boat, or?
I'm sure it'll be fine. And then he gets closer later to Tokarov, and he's like, I don't dislike your company, sir, but it is
It's
not.
good. I don't dislike your company either. This is good for us.
It is not a large boat. I was not expecting this. I can't.
Nor was I, but I am very excited by the prospect of being on a boat again. It's been a number of years, in fact.
The rooms available for additional passengers. It's not what I think you'll be used to, sir. And
I mean, if there is a hammock, I am okay.
oh well, very rugged.
No, just surprisingly comfortable on a ship.
Oh, I see, a sailor. Very well. I hope
Not
the
at
lady.
all. Just lot of boat trips.
Oh, often on a
Not the
boat.
sailor,
I see.
Just passenger.
You know, I hope that the lady Magdalena Dirchenwald, Dirkdenwald, I hope that she also is as comfortable seaborne as you. We will see. And
I imagine we'll find out. It should be interesting.
Indeed. Now, I should also let you know that part of my purposes in having this boating trip is there is an urgent need for grain shipments. There are certain opportunities that shortfalls on the front lines are providing. And anyways, I won't go into all that, but basically he's intending to use the boat trip for his own means as well.
That's fine. I mean, if you have an opportunity you would like to take advantage of, and you also, wish to have this boat trip, and then it's fine. You can rent the ship for your own purposes. It's perfectly okay, and no one will judge you for this.
Oh no, he's.
I do recommend the train networks though, if you want to
that's his
get
point.
a little bit more out of it. But some of those are still being built, so maybe not.
Yeah,
It depends where you need the grain to go.
He's actually going to propose a rail be laid into port and further to the west. So anyways, and I won't go into all that, but the point being that he wants to the point being that Countess Galina is not the most important thing to him.
The Countess Galina, I think, is going to be a wonderful person to have on this boat trip. I am looking forward to that. We've been meaning to have more conversations.
I agree. I look forward to it.
Would you like some tea?
Yes, please.
Oh, fantastic. And Togar will just stand up, go and get some tea, come back, hand him a cup of tea, and then walk off and find a different conversation.
I feel like Countess Galina is probably dragged her friend Katya over way closer to the window. It's like, okay, let's leave the men to their things and try to avoid them.
I'm sorry, just to make a quick note on my notepad here for myself. What is Galina's old flame? What was his name again?
She doesn't have an old flame. So Ivan Rubovich is Ekaterina's old flame.
Ekaterina. Okay.
Yeah. Yakov
right.
is one of Galina's suitors that she's been trying to shake.
Gotcha. Okay. Just later on for Roman, so machinate.
Yep. At some point, when Togar was looking for a new conversation, very kind of to himself, he would have written something down and then kind of tried to subtly hand Galina a little note that will just say, Yakov doesn't think you're important. And just Leave
she'll
that
kind
there.
of subtly take it, as she's adjusting her skirts, and just kind of open it up with her back turned towards the rest of the room, and it's like you can visibly see her shoulders drop a little bit. Say, Katya, do you think any of the other men from the war, do you think they might be available?
Available?
Not spoken for,
Oh,
of marrying age, I suppose.
you're getting a little tired of the blue bloods.
A bit.
Well, I don't really think much about what's on the marriage market these days. But anything for you. I consider you like my little sister I didn't get to have. Is there somebody you had in mind?
And not in particular, I'm just kind of curious, actually. It's, you know how it's, well, I mean, you know how they are. They're in their uniforms. They're very smart looking.
And usually full of themselves for it, too.
Yes,
Oh.
but they have such interesting stories to tell. They have things, they can tell all about, like what it's like to be over in France or, Germany.
Mm.
With all due respect, Lady Dirk or Miss Dirktenwald, I'm sure you also have wonderful stories of what it's like in Germany.
Oh, yeah. Many, in fact. It's a place that I miss dearly.
Do tell us, what is it like over there? I've never been I've never been there to the continent.
Well, Leisha doesn't know anything about this. So, Lena will make something up. Because I don't actually know anything about Germany in 1810.
I mean, it's at that point it would have been still fairly. If you had your old cities, modernizing, but but not quite the powerhouse it would have been in a century. It's still kind of broken. Napoleon was actually the one that unified it into a unified country instead of being various German states. He's kind of part of the reason that the Holy Roman Empire is not a thing, which is neither Holy Roman nor an empire.
Yeah.
Germany was fucked basically for the entire Napoleonic Wars.
I wish I could tell you. A lot of things have slipped my mind about my homeland, just due to the war.
I think, I can't hear his name. Katerina could bring up, she did get a letter from her brother recently. Not Germany, but he said he had to pass through there briefly.
Huh?
Let me think. No, I don't have. Now I'm trying to think of my history. Yeah, I kind of feel like I need to summarize it. He mentions a city that they passed through. Oh, you know what? You brought up flowers earlier. You know what? He sent back a dried flower. But I couldn't recognize it. I'm terrible with flowers. Do you know what it is? And she's kind of describing it to Lena, because I'm just going to assume your character knows flowers off the cuff.
Yeah.
So she describes a flower, and you can describe. You can be like, "Oh, that's whatever flower you'd like to say."
Oh, a dahlia.
A dahlia. Oh, how pretty. Yes, he tries to send me these sentimental things, but nothing interesting, nothing about what soldiers actually do or what the cities are like. I always wanted to go to Germany. I liked reading the literature.
Fun fact, 1810 in Germany is when the first Oktoberfest happened.
Ooh.
and when For Release was written.
Okay.
I would like to, but I don't know who would fit in this scene. I have this idea that maybe Yvonne, so this would be in a different location. I'm trying to think of like the hospital, like in France, they had the Hotel des Invalides or whatever, the big, like, hey, if you're wounded, you go here kind of place. And I would imagine there's probably not one in St. Petersburg. It would probably be in Moscow or somewhere southwest or west. But maybe people come to St. Petersburg, they're coming home. That means, that is to say, they're very bad off. I have this idea of a scene for Yvonne where he would go see his friend there. I don't know who would fit in that scene. Is there anybody else connected to the war that's a character?
Well, the one I know of is her brother, but I don't think. Oh, sorry, Katerina's brother.
Okay.
But I don't know that I would want him to be back. I don't know. It depends. But I think that's also an opportunity for like another person, like a character for somebody else to be introduced. So that's why I bring that up.
Yeah.
Or maybe if it's another character who's doing something charitable.
I haven't really introduced Tokarev's connections yet.
That's true. I was gonna say for military, as far as I can remember, besides her brother.
You know who might be there? Is Roman's brother, Dmitri, the priest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know who volunteered to roleplay him though.
Thicket.
Oh, Thicket. Okay.
I forgot that I got to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you want,
pious,
you can always
wife
flip over
and kids.
to that, introduce the rest of our characters.
Yeah, I don't think that Constantine would be there, but yeah, okay, that's cool. Yeah, Dmitry Ivanovich Kizilev. Okay,
Yep.
well, okay, so I imagine a hospital in St. Petersburg. It's probably heavily administered by the church. I don't know. I'm guessing that is to say they have a major presence there, that they should be visiting the sick anyway, and that if they're here, and what season is it right now?
This is spring, so
Okay.
it's about a week after Easter.
Fascinating.
So we're in late April.
Okay, this will be in the heat of the war then. So if somebody's coming back,
Bright Week has, by the way, would have just finished.
Okay. Oof. All right. So, if these are halls that they probably smell like whatever passes for antiseptic and blood and feces. Alcohol. Alcohol, and there are screams, and there are probably men in delirium as well. They're probably sanitized, and Yvonne clambers down a long hall. I also assume this is one of the many old buildings here, and features of stone and things, and he has some sort of like just a cane or something, and it clangs against the floor, and he goes up to where the officers are kept. And so there are fewer beds for officers, and they're nicer. They have like a room to themselves. And I propose that who is he? It's Roman. I'm sorry, I have to keep looking back at the sheet. Roman. This would be Dmitry Ivanovich Kisilyev. Father Dmitry or Father Kislyev, I don't know. Maybe is visiting a friend. Maybe could somebody else play this other officer who is probably far worse off than Yvonne?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe visibly bad off in some way. Um, they have techniques of trying to drain and keep infections from taking root, and it's a desperate losing battle to prevent an infection when you have an open wound. And so they try to drain the fluid from your bones, and it's a terribly painful thing.
Yeah, you're probably just lying on this bed, like drenched in sweat, like biting down, probably like, like on a strap of leather or something. And it's just yeah, like you can just like see the agony written across his face as they're performing this procedure, and like he refuses to even look at it, just for kind of so much for like any sort of stiff upper lip. Like, there's nobody is going to be able to kind of just like tough this kind of treatment out.
What's his name?
His name is give me 1 second. Captain Oleg. So Oleg.
Oleg.
Yeah. Nikolaevich Petrov.
Nikolaevich Petrov. Okay. I I see the doors cracked open, and I sort of move it open with my cane, and then hobble in, and I say, I see the priest here. I see the Dmitri, Father Dmitri. I'm sorry. Was I came to see you, my old friend. Are you with company now? It's a sort of like grim joke, because he's undergoing this draining procedure.
Are you referring to the priest or the guy who's being
the guy who's having the procedure done to him? Yeah, but I see the priest there, and I nod toward the priest.
Yeah, that sounds like someone in surgery. I think Dimitri's just sitting there, not praying, but definitely wincing at the screams that's let's be honest, even through biting leather, that they're loud.
He's just screaming through that.
Oh.
Like that is the only thing that leather is doing is preventing him from biting his tongue off.
Father Dmitri has a not the strongest constitution then for the screams of men. Is this the case?
Yeah, I think it's very much he can withstand it, but it's definitely not pleasant.
Okay. All right. Then I see that, and I just tap my old friend who's in pain, and I say, don't worry, Father. He's seen worse. He'll be fine.
I'm not really certain that he will be, but I know that the best efforts are being made to try to keep him alive.
Well, anyone that's coming back this month from the front and he is here, well, maybe we're not fine, actually. Pray for me, Father, please. Although I know you have plenty of men here to pray for, maybe on second thought, do not pray for me.
I'm sure I can squeeze you in somewhere.
Thank you.
How close is Father Dmitri to the bed? Like is
a healthy several meters.
I'm guessing that like if I'm kind of thinking at some point he does like sort of like pass out briefly just from the pain, and you just kind of like his body is just kind of like it's his arm like that they're not working on flops off the bed, and
Okay.
the other one like is still kind of being like physically held down.
Gotcha. I sit down then. I sit down with the priest, and then I'm like, it seems like my friend has fallen asleep. I came to see him. We served together.
It is unfortunate that you arrived to see him at this time.
I disagree, Father. I am glad to see him at this time. And I hope he saw me.
I'm sure he takes great comfort in you being here.
And then...
However, I think he takes greater comfort in the fact that he's currently unconscious.
I will use a... What is it called? A...
Resolve token?
Resolve token! I will use a resolve token for Yvonne. And Yvonne is dressed well, like Russian Gentry. But you notice a stain of blood on his right inner thigh, and it's growing.
Are you okay there? Do you have a bit of a wound, I think?
Yes, sorry. Yes, of course. And I take like a handkerchief and I cover it and I say, don't worry about me. As I said, I think these men need our attention. In fact, if you're going to make rounds, since my friend is asleep, I wouldn't mind keeping you company. I know some of these men.
That's fine, but if you have a wound that needs to be looked at, I recommend you get that looked at. This you will do no good. Spreading blood all over the floors.
No, I'm fine. I assure you. And he gets up and he says, let us go say hello to others. We're doing no good here sitting in a corner 10 meters away from everyone.
Yes, unfortunately, the other areas are rather quite cramped. So we will be right in the middle of all the screaming and the begging and the pained cries for help. And unfortunately, I can do very little for them except pray. And really, quite frankly, it is rather depressing. But hopefully, most of them will recover with time. Okay, and he just stands up.
Prayers will
Weirdly
be
enough, this kind of environment really does remind me of my own family.
And yeah, Yvonne laughs, and they walk, into the enlisted beds, which are cramped, and it's a nightmare. And there are not enough people ministering to all the different beds of men that are, sometimes wounded, but oftentimes just in delirium or madness. And,
Yeah, if anybody else wants to play one of the soldiers.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I just thought I offered, where is, I feel like Yvonne, what's he doing, right? And then, anyways, we can shift back to the scene. So.
I like it.
I'm also kind of curious. Depending on kind of what you want to do with this one. The other thing is probably by the time Yvonne kind of finishes up the rounds, then Captain Petrov would probably be awake by then.
Okay.
I thought his name was Oleg.
Well, Petrov is his last name. Oleg is his first name.
Okay. When you come back and see him awake, I tap him with my cane and I say, Captain Petrov, you scream like a girl.
It hurts worse than hell, but it's give it to old bone man. He hasn't killed me yet.
Yeah, well, we're not in hell yet. I look over to the priest. I think.
Oh, no. It just looks like it sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, so we'll go to the ballet tomorrow, right, Captain? Captain Petrov?
I certainly would love to. It's something to get away from the dreariness of here. I can walk, but don't ask me to carry anything. He kind of gestures vaguely to his bandaged arm that's been packed, that's kind of been packed with linens. It's like, as you can see, it's. They said it was once a gunshot, a piece of cannon shrapnel, but it's apparently gotten worse.
Out of character, does it look like he'll be okay?
It looks like he's probably gonna end up losing his arm.
Okay, yeah. In that case, I like squeeze his arm and I smile to him and I kiss his cheek.
Not the injured one, I hope.
The injured one, yeah. The captain or Elievich. I squeeze his arm and I kiss his cheek and smile, and I'm like, we'll go to the ballet. We'll see it. We can go this weekend.
I would enjoy that greatly. But tell me, how have you been? It's good to see you up and walking.
We all have our complaints, but really, I'm fine.
And that's what's the young woman that you mentioned to me before? Have you seen her yet?
Oh, right. Elievich, those were just stories to keep you distracted when you're, there on the front. We're home now, and
you should consider it settling down and find a nice young woman or something.
Right. Maybe you're right, but not. I think she has. She has another future ahead of her. I don't think. I don't think it's going to. It's just a story, Elievich. I'm sorry, yeah, but
you do not want to become an old dog like me with nothing but a war to look and a good death to look forward to. You should have something to keep you going. Somebody to mind the house for you while you're away.
House. Yeah, you're right. I pat his arm. You're right.
But that's ballet. That I hope that is more than just stories that you're offering.
And out of character, of course, that's a lie. Yeah, of course it's not, my friend. Yes, Captain, we'll go. We'll go this weekend. You and I.
Good. I will look forward to it, and I stay strong until then.
I kiss his forehead.
Okay, out of character. I like Yvonne. He's a good guy.
Yeah, I like the way you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
At some point during this, Dimitri has wandered off, presumably to administer the last rites to at least a few people who probably won't make it through the day.
Yeah, there's unfortunately a relatively good chance that the captain will not make it to the weekend, but you know what? He has something to fight for now. Something to think about. Yeah, it's 10:20, so I don't know if there's any more scenes you guys want to do with, like, let's say Roman and Constantine, or if you guys want to wait until next week for that.
Oh, I have an inner monologue token. I want some. I got to pick out.
Okay,
yeah.
Or also feel free to use your inner monologue tokens.
Yeah. No, this is. But I'll shift the. Okay, it's for Roman. So where is Roman and what is going through his mind? That's what I want to know. Yeah.
Roman the uncle or Roman the other scumbag?
The other scumbag. The other scumbag.
Okay. Roman the other scumbag. I think right after the soiree, I'm returning home.
he would be contemplating all of the night's events and constructing the letter that he sent to Takara. And while he thinks about it, he would send his little confidants out or put feelers out for whoever Katerina's old special flame is, to see if he can figure out Yakov's real name, use his new tool in his grand scheme. Well, chaos, essentially. And as he thinks about this, he would also be thinking about how can he elevate his friend's level in society so he would gain such a great reputation that no matter what, essentially dirt comes out of his previous, let's say his previous life, that it would not affect in any way. So he's thinking about holding a grand charity event for all the wounded soldiers who came home from the war in he and Constantine's name.
Being patrons of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. I was just interested.
Of course, even though I don't think technology is at this point, he would be in the prototype version of a swivel chair, just looking into his fireplace, concocting this scheme.
Actually, the swivel chair was invented by then.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, allegedly Thomas Jefferson
1775.
liked his swivel chairs.
Someone had a concept of it in 1505.
Yep.
I don't know when it became
mainstream.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be mainstream. We just know that they existed.
Yeah.
I honestly did
For
not
members
know
of the
that the
gentry,
swivel
we are
chair
not
was
going to Sears for our shopping.
Yeah, I did not know that the swivel chair was that old. Like, oh my god, that needs to be in more novels.
I think it runs into like the Tiffany problem of like if you have your character sitting in a swivel chair, but it takes place in like the Napoleonic Wars, everybody's like, this seems really out of place. Actually, it's not.
Now that's a good question. Now, since we don't know, did Napoleon have a swivel chair?
Probably not.
I doubt it.
We don't know.
But yes, also, do we want to move on to rumors and scandals?
Sure.
Sure.
Does anybody have any rumors that? So the options again is that you can either start a rumor or spread an existing rumor. I think the only rumor that we haven't had spread is about Yvonne. Otherwise, yeah, if anybody who wants to start a rumor is welcome to.
I would like to start a rumor.
Okay.
That Yakov is more interested in grain shipments than the interests of the Countess.
Okay.
Which is not a particularly important rumor, but is convenient for the Countess's purposes.
Interesting. Magdalena, do you have any rumors you would like to spread or create?
I can't think of anything.
Okay. Ekaterina, do you have any rumors that you'd like to spread or concoct?
I'm trying to decide. I'm okay with Yvonne's fading because I like the idea they don't really know if he was at the party or not, but obviously he has some kind of injury, so I don't think that needs to be a rumor. But I feel like I'm missing a golden opportunity here. I feel like there should be some kind of rumor or scandal going on, maybe with like the church, to kind of tie that together. Like if we have the church involved with like a charity that you were mentioning, and then that gets Katerina involved and the soldiers are involved. So maybe like a rumor of the church being involved with that charity event. Not to take it away from you, but I mean like maybe they're willing to host something or they're taking donations for it.
Ooh, that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, because I think I think the church would also be like, it would be really good to bring some of our like plot threads together that haven't connected yet because it's such a social place. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you think, if that's what you want to go with.
I've got an interesting way to phrase it. At his next sermon, Father Dimitri mentions that they're taking additional donations for a mysterious charity event.
Ooh, yeah. Yes, that will be good.
Ooh, plot thick. Constantine, what about you? Do you have any rumors you would like to spread?
No.
Oh,
I don't think so.
I was actually curious, once a rumor starts fading, are you allowed to try to spread it to bring it back, or once it's fading, it's basically gone?
If it's fading, you can try to spread it to bring it back.
Yeah,
I don't know if you'd want to like spread the fossil Yevs are not Christian before it's completely gone. Not sure.
No, I think actually it's kind of cool that it is fading. Here's my thinking. Maybe I'm wrong, but like it almost is kind of like, especially with that charity event, that's almost like the thing that, and especially with it being through the church, you know, like that's almost true. Like, yeah, you're right. Like that's almost like a ploy, is that they did that on purpose, you know, and he's just trying to cover up those skeletons as much as he can.
Here.
And but Ross would like to see it spread, so but I'm not going to. I'm gonna play the game as if I were the I'm gonna see what happens. Yeah.
Well, Liz, I do have a rumor that I want to spread, but Liz, do you have any rumors that you want to spread first?
That is what I'm
or
thinking.
Stoke?
I do actually want to spread the one about the charity event. I think that'll be quite interesting.
See, I too as well, before anybody else said so, but I was also thinking about putting a little twist to say that Magdalena and Anna Marie are saying that it's for the church while they are pocketing it for themselves.
He's just got this whisper network where he's just trying to make it worse, like the worst version. It's like the tabloids of.
So
yes.
he's saying that
I can't tell if you're like Gaston or Iago at this point.
So he's saying that Magdalena and Anne Marie are now trying to spread a rumor about the church pocketing the money.
Yes. So what he was thinking about doing is trying to say that, instead of the church pocketing the money, that they have their fingers into the church pie, and that they are actually pocketing them instead of the church.
Just get a little anti-German sentiment.
Of course.
I mean,
Um,
Germany in the 1800s is seen as the fucking backwater of Europe, so
yeah.
They're the
it's,
Arkansas.
it's about the
Europe.
same as someone saying "fuck Detroit."
Oh.
Danny, do you
Well,
have
that made
any
it like super clear for me
anything
now.
you want to spread or start?
I would like to, since it's kind of a new rumor, I guess I would like to start it.
Yeah. So for you, that would be starting it. Danny, do you want to spread or start?
Can I spread the Yakov Smirnov is more enchantment count as
Of course. I think that's everybody.
Think
you do-
that's buddy.
Did you do one, Liz?
I spread the one about the charity.
That's right. Okay.
I'll spread the. I didn't do one. I'll spread the last one. The one that Glenn proposed.
Ooh. Okay. Spicy. He really is trying to throw a wrench into plans.
We are the dirt bags of this story.
All right. So yeah, so possibly one thing we can do for the next session is to pick up at this charity event, or maybe again the days leading up to it.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.